Good morning and thanks so much for tuning in. You're watching Ask BQ on BQ Prime. My name is Alex Matthew, and over the next half an hour or so, we'll take you through what's happening in the markets right now, and also we'll get all of your stock-related questions answered. So if you have been contemplating buying a particular stock, or if you're wondering about a stock that you've already bought, then our experts today will help you crystallize everything that you need to know to make the right decision. We're joined, in fact, by a couple of experts. We've got Vivek Karwa, Chief Executive Officer of Vridhi Investment, and Nagaraj Shetti, Senior Technical Research Analyst at HDFC Securities. Thank you so much to the both of you for taking the time, and at the start of a new Samvat, I might add. So I'm sure that a lot of my viewers might just be in that Diwali spirit. I do not know how many questions will come about, but still we'll take as many as we will get today. Let me start with the topic that we've chosen, gentlemen, for the focus, as I like to call it, which is Eicher Motors. And this is arguably one of the stocks of the day. It was up about 2% last I checked. I think it's hovering around that mark as we speak right now as well. And this is on the back of quite the strong numbers in the second quarter, notwithstanding the pressures that some people have spoken about over the last quarter or so that are coming in because of the premiumization drive by the incumbents in the two-wheeler space, the likes of Bajaj Auto as well as Hero MotoCorp. In fact, Eicher has managed to increase its margins quite substantially, Vivek, in the quarter gone by. What did you make of the results, and what should an investor or prospective investor do with Eicher Motors?
Good morning, and good morning to all the viewers, and wishing you all a very happy ensuing new year. So I hope this Diwali to next Diwali, all our portfolios really shine bright as much as possible. Now, coming to Eicher Motors, see, there is premiumization which is happening across the board. But what I feel is the segment in which Eicher focuses, the Bullet, that is irreplaceable even now. Most of the companies are focusing on the EV side. The results have been very good. If you look at the sales, which is almost at 4,100 crores on a quarter-on-quarter, and the profit also has in fact gone into 4 digits. So what I feel is this trend should continue. Yes, the stock valuation looks a bit stretched in short term, but I find that on every dip, you should actually be slow and steadily buying it. And the margins, at operating margins also at around 26%, looks quite healthy. So I think that trend should continue. We should not be scared of what other companies are doing. They would more focus on the EV space, but Bullet should continue doing well.
Okay. What about the stock performance on the charts, Nagaraj? Let's take a look at this one. And I think it's a crowd favorite as well. So what are the key levels that you're watching out for?
Yeah, the stock was moving in a larger range bound action over the last few months. And 3450, 3550, 3600 was the strong resistance. Recently, it has witnessed some upside breakout of this resistance, currently trading above the range. That overall trend remains positive for the stocks. I'm expecting the stocks to move above the next hurdle of around 3726. On that, the next upside resistance would be from around 3850 to 3900 levels. Overall chart pattern is positive, and I'm expecting further upside in the stock in the near term.
Let me take the first question that has come on YouTube. In the meanwhile, let me remind all of our viewers that are tuning in, you can send your questions on the chat on YouTube, or in fact on any one of our social media platforms. Or in fact, you can also send us a message on WhatsApp. I have that open on my screen right now, so I can speak to you directly. We've got Rajesh Maheshwari joining in, and he's asking about a stock that is facing a little bit of selling pressure, or I shouldn't say a little bit, in fact, it's quite significant at this juncture. I'm talking about Biocon, gentlemen, and it's down about 4% or thereabouts, and that's despite the doubling of PAT in the second quarter. Why is it being looked at negatively right now? Why is it facing selling pressure? I'll come to you first, Vivek.
See, this is one stock wherein everybody is pathetically sad that why are they holding. In fact, when pharma has done well, this stock has in fact given investors at least from 20% to 25% negative returns. Now, what I feel is, see, sometimes in the market, what happens is you have like over exuberance, which can stay longer. Such kind of scenario wherein market royally ignores a stock also can happen. In fact, there are certain molecules which are doing good on the buy-bond side, and the company is overall doing well, but market is royally ignoring it the way it was ignoring ITC. So I find that stock should do well at some point of time. So it's only a matter of time. But seriously, how much time? Even I don't know, because it's pretty long that stock has not performed. And hence, if you are planning to buy afresh, I would say avoid it, because you never know in how much time will it recover. If you have already bought it, and if there is no loss, no profit, then probably you can exit still and enter it when the stock starts moving. So that's what advice I can give right now. Otherwise, the company looks good. It should. After, in fact, the chairman's husband's death, there were so many issues which all cropped up. But I think all are history now, and company should start focusing and doing well in future.
Okay, at least the numbers did look good on the fundamentals. What about the technical levels? Because Rajesh has acquired, and incidentally, Vivek, he is holding on at a profit. He's got an average buy price of 184. So, Nagaraj on the charts, if he is to exit, as Vivek is suggesting, and wait for an up move, what key levels should he watch out for?
I'm not expecting any immediate reversal as of now. It has made an attempt of upside bounce recently, and the area of around 230, 35 levels has acted as a strong resistance. And I'm expecting this to come down further. 1.8 is a nearest support. If it breaks that support, then it could even test 210 levels in the near.
We've got a question coming in on WhatsApp from Isha, and Isha is writing in from Jaipur. She's got quite a significant number of shares of Suzlon. Now, in days past, I must admit that when the stock was languishing at single-digit levels, we wouldn't really entertain questions on this, but it has since then moved up quite substantially. She has bought at levels of 7, and she's asking whether or not she should hold or book profits. Vivek, quite an upside seen in this particular counter. Should she book?
I think you should hold it on. I'll give you reasons as well, because even I was among the camp which was giving a sell call maybe a year ago, because nothing was happening in the company. Now, what transpired after that? In fact, the company earlier had thought that the government is going to focus approximately 5 gigawatts of power generation, and they had invested heavily. Company went into debt, and orders just didn't come. But now the government is so focused that they are thinking about 7 gigawatts, and the expectation is that it could reach 9 and 10 in future. And hence the stock has started doing well. Revenues have started coming in, debt is getting reduced, and overall things look really good. So what I would suggest you, because you also have a technical guest on the panel, take a stop loss from him, and you should keep trailing that stop loss, because the fortunes actually have started looking good, and I find that stock might actually touch 50 rupees also. So if things really go the way they are, and I just need to alert you that there are elections which will happen next year, hardly 4-5 months left, and hence based on the results of elections, also this stocks would move up, because if there is any change in the government, if something like that happens, then the fresh orders, again this power push, all these things can slow down drastically. So that could be the biggest risk. Otherwise, I find that if same government continues, Suzlon should actually do well.
Okay, interesting. So this stock is at 39 or thereabouts right now, Nagaraj, on the charts. As Vivek was pointing, can you suggest some stop losses that you would put, and how would you treat this on the technical strategy?
Yes, if you look at the price behavior of the last couple of months, it has witnessed amazing rally from the lows of 9 to 10 levels to almost 38, 39 levels without showing any reasonable downward correction in the between. We have seen smaller dips, consolidations in between, but eventually the stock has maintained higher levels. Currently, though placed around the 39 levels, there is no indication of any reversal pattern building technically at the higher levels. So that means that there is a possibility of some more upside for the near term. If it stocks declines down to 36, 36.50, which is expected to be a red flag, I think if it breaks 36.50, then we could see some a severe downward correction in the stock. Unless it breaks below 36.50, I'm expecting this to continue its upward journey in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, fair point. We've got several questions that have now started trickling in on YouTube. Again, reminder, if you've got the WhatsApp number, do send it. Send your questions to me. We've got Ramit Patel who's asking about CDSL and whether it can be bought at the current level. Nagaraj, I'll come to you first on the chart. CDSL, how does it look? Nagaraj, on the chart, CDSL.
Yes. CDSL has witnessed a sharp upside breakout from 1350 to 18. I think better to stay away at this point of time. I'm expecting this stock to show some consolidation at the higher levels. There is a strong resistance around 1880, 1900 levels. Better to stay away at this point of time. I'm expecting some consolidation or a downward correction in the stocks.
Does come to pass, Vivek, CDSL, would it be a good buy based on the fundamentals?
It's a great company. The future is good. If you look at next 5-10 years, the number of investors in the stock markets is going to increase, and there would be more and more assets which would get dematerialized. And there are only two depositories in India, CDSL and NSDL. So and hence both are going to get benefited out of it. But this is for next 5-10 years what I'm talking about. If you look at short term, most of these things are in the price. The stock has really run up very, very fast at 1867. I don't think you should be investing. You should actually be slowly and steadily booking profits in a staggered manner because short-term valuations actually look quite stretched. But yes, as I said, if you have 5-year horizon, then it's okay. But if you are going to look at next 1 or 2 years, I think you should book profits.
Okay. Let me take a question coming in from Manoj, and he's asking about a public sector bank. Union Bank is the name of the counter. Let me just pull up the chart and see where it's currently trading. In fact, it's up about 2.8% in trade today. Quite a sharp up move just over the last, say, 15 minutes or so, half an hour or so. It's seen quite a big up move. What is the target on the long term as well as on the short term charts is a question. I'll come to you first, Nagaraj, on the charts.
Yeah, technically PSU stocks have been doing very well, and this too. Union Bank, after showing consolidation recently in this today's session, has made an attempt of upside breakout of the last 7-8 sessions range. Currently placed around 100, 708 levels. And I'm expecting this is a positive chart pattern for the stocks, and this upside momentum, what has started today, is likely to continue for some more period of time. And I'm expecting this stock to reach towards the next hurdle of around 113 levels very soon.
Okay. Union Bank, would that be your pick on the fundamentals from the PSU Bank pack, Vivek, or would you stick with the market leader right now?
Definitely not number one pick, but if you go by valuations, Union Bank actually looks still cheaper, between 6-7 P when you compare with other banks, PSU banks which have run up. Particularly Punjab National Bank and all, which trades around 17p as of today. So the stock looks good, cheap, valuation-wise. It shows that it can even trade at 140 levels and still it will not be costly. So definitely hold it on. And all the small PSU banks, finally, maybe next government, whichever comes, is going to look at merging all these banks into bigger banks. So that would be your end result. But right now, valuation-wise, it looks cheap, so you should hold it out.
Okay, I'm not really sure about why this would be a contra strategy, but the question coming in on YouTube from Nilesh Patil, and he's asking, can I buy Aditya Birla Fashion as a contra strategy? I'm not sure if that would be a contra strategy and what this relates to, but is it a good pick on the fundamentals first, and then we'll take the technical view as well. Vivek, how does it look?
See, company on its capital earns hardly 5-6%. Okay, which doesn't beat even the inflation, and hence in short term, the stock is looking bad. The performance is just not coming. So it would say I would not advise in short term to be bought. But as you said, can it be a contra? Yes, it can be a contra because the company has great brands today's date, and the retail push from here would continue happening. And I think that this brands, whatever this company holds, Pantaloons and the Peter Englands of the world, Alan Souli's, all these brands would do well. So as a contra, yes, I think it is worth taking the risk because the downside is limited over here. Downside, I don't think it is going to go below 200, but upside can be at least 40 rupees to 50 rupees as and when it happens.
There's Louis Philippe as well. That is in this.
Yes.
So quite a few well-known brands, as you were pointing out. On the charts, does it look very interesting at this point, Nagaraj?
I'm not finding any that much convincing on the charts right now for ABFRL. Currently moving in a range of around 218 on the higher side and 205, 206 on the lower side. Still, it has there is no indication of any upside breakout from the higher levels. Currently moving in a range, and I'm expected to move within a range for some more period. So the two banks upside resistance would be around 218 and lower support would be around 205, 206 for the near term.
Okay. Rasik's got a question on Cupid, asking about 20 shares that he's bought at levels of 888. Should he book profit is the question. I'll take a quick check on the technicals then. Nagaraj, how does Cupid look on the charts, and would you suggest exiting at this juncture?
The stock has witnessed a sharp momentum on the upper side over the last few months without showing any reasonable downward correction. That means technically it is vulnerable for some consolidation, at least for some downward correction from the higher levels. So I'm expecting this to show some reaction on the downside. Is likely.
Okay. I think we may be having a bit of an issue with Nagaraj's feed. Let me go across to Vivek with a question though. Vivek, one particular counter that I've been looking at very closely, both today and over the past few weeks, has been BSE. And this is a stock that is up about 6.7% in trade today. Over the last month or so, it has gone up as much as 50%. And it is up over 300% in the last 6 months. What, according to you, is driving this frenetic rally on the upside? And should investors touch the stock now, considering the run-up has been so significant?
Okay, it's a tough one. I'll tell you reasons because there's no clear yes or no answer to it. First of all, the stock has started moving. Okay, I'll come to the other part first. As of today, it looks the most, overly stressed stock after this run-up. And valuation-wise also, it is one of the costliest stock exchange as of today, trading across the world. And hence, it makes sense not to invest fresh money. But what is driving this stock? See, till now, what we have been seeing is we look at derivatives happening only on NSE and not on BSE. But off late, if you look at past few months, the volumes on BSE F&O also is doing good. And in fact, there are many stockbrokers I know that they have started trading in BSE F&O as well. And hence, if this volumes continue this way, then sky is the limit because it's the only listed stock exchange. And if really volumes pick up on this on BSE, I think the kind of volumes happening in the country per day. So it is really tough to say whether this will continue or not. But yeah, if you are holding it, keep trailing the stop loss and continue holding it. But fresh entry, I am really scared.
Okay, skeptical would be the approach if you're thinking of a fresh entry. But I guess enjoy the ride if you bought it at lower levels. Now, Varun Beverages is the next counter that we're focusing on, Vivek. And this is a question from Kundan, who's been holding from the IPO stage, which is quite a while, right? And he's looking at holding for about a year or so from now. Is there significant potential upside from this point as well?
See, again, the stock has run up a lot for Varun Beverages, and I feel that you should, if you really need money, then you should book profits. Great company, they do really good bottling business, and should continue doing well over a longer period. But short term, the stock has, I think, went 3 times, so it looks quite costly.
Okay. We've got a question coming from Sachin, and he's asking about Piramal Pharma. Is it a good stock to buy? He's also pointing out that he's got Lupin as well as Dr. Reddy's Laboratories already in his portfolio. So with that in mind, should he also add Piramal, Vivek?
As a disclosure, I have quite good personal holding in it, and I think the stock should continue doing well, at least till 160 rupees. Now, little bit of history. The company was earlier Piramal Enterprises, and that company split into two, again into Piramal Enterprises and Piramal Pharma. So after listing of Piramal Pharma, it had tough time in the markets and with the balance sheet, particularly the results were continuously bad. But last quarter results have been exceptionally well, and management also is this time confident that this kind of performance would continue in future. They also had done rights issue in recent past, and that rights issue has also helped the company in lesser outflow of interest amount, and hence the company has become little less debt than what it was earlier, and hence should continue doing well. If you want to buy, surely I think you should buy at 122. I think 160 could be a reasonable target.
Okay. I believe we've got Nagaraj back. Nagaraj, we've spoken about a few more stocks, but why don't we end with your top picks, both for the new Samvat, so a slightly longer term pick is what I would ask you for, and those that you think are going to be buzzing in the short term as well. Nagaraj, am I audible to you?
Yeah, can you please repeat again?
Yeah, so I'm saying we've taken quite a few stock-related questions, but I'm saying we're at the end of the show. So why don't we take both of your top picks, since we're at the start of a new Samvat? Why don't you give us one slightly longer-term view, as well as one stock that you think is going to be very active in the short term?
Okay, sure. I'll give you. First of all, I would like to speak on Engineers India. And if you look at the chartically, Engineers India recently has witnessed a significant strong upside bounce from the low levels by forming an important bottom reversal around 116, 117 levels. Overall chart pattern is looking positive. I'm expecting this stock to reach towards the important resistance of around 160 levels in the near term. Overall chart pattern, even volume has risen during the upside breakout, and even RSI is looking positive. And second stock is the CI India. If you look at the CI India, chartically has been in a continuous downtrend over the last many months, and the lower tops, lower bottoms on the charts is indicating that the stock was in a larger consolidation phase with the weak bias till now. And recently it has made some promising chart pattern to show upside bounces. Currently showing 485 levels. I'm expecting this to show upside, continue up its upside momentum towards 515, 520 levels in the short term. Overall chart pattern for CIE India is looking positive.
Okay, just confirming this is CIE Automotive India, correct?
Yes, yes.
All right. Vivek, last word is yours. What, according to you, are the top picks heading into the new Samvat?
See, you already asked me on Piramal Pharma, and I think you should buy that. Even today morning, it was trading at 190 something, and the stock has recovered, and now it is above 122. So I feel that next after 1 year, when we talk during next Diwali, this stock would be much higher. So that would be my first bet. Secondly, little safer. ICICI Bank, I think it should at least trade at 1,150 rupees by next Diwali, which is almost 20-25% returns from here. And the downside looks minimal. But as and when the stock moves, I think 1,150 should be a reasonable level on the stock. So ICICI Bank and Pharma.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so we've had quite the eventful start to the new Samvat, and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time for speaking to BQ Prime, and also to for answering all of the questions that you did answer today. All right, viewers, there you have it. Hopefully, we've answered some of your questions, and in fact, given you some ideas that you didn't have at the start of this program. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up over the course of the day, and this is BQ Prime.